All right, everybody, good afternoon. I know we're a little bit late on this one compared to the usual, partially because we played on Monday night, partially because I was busy, didn't have a chance to make this earlier, but here we are now. We're doing Snap Count Monday, except it's Tuesday. So let's take a look at the data from the snap counts and try to see what we can learn about the Seahawks. So 61 snaps on offense, which is not too bad. It's a little better than last week. I mean, we've definitely had better games, but we have certainly had worse. 61 snaps, I mean, that's gonna get it done more often than not, I think, especially if you execute well on those 61 plays. So, let's run it down here real quick, starting with running back. It's very simple here. It was almost an even split, but K9 gets a little bit more action. Mostly because he was playing really well, and also because we kept the game close enough to where we could actually run the ball. I think Charbonnet tends to get in there a lot more when we're passing because he's a better blocker. So when we're able to run the ball, and because the game is relatively close, good things can happen for K9 snap count. So he obviously K9 played an excellent game, by the way. Charbonnet a little more muted, but he more or less did his job. I think he dropped a pass. He did drop a pass, so we don't like that. But yeah, Walker gets 34. Charbonnet gets 27. Nobody else gets anything in the backfield except for I think Belor got one snap as a fullback. He's not even here. Okay, so wide receivers. This is where things get a little more intriguing. DK Metcalf was out there constantly, which is, I mean, he's out there most of the time in most games, but in this game, he was out there all but 5 snaps. So it's kind of, it continues to be a little bit frustrating that it took us 58 minutes to really involve him in the game plan. It took us 58 minutes to really get him the ball a lot. It's great that it came out the way that it did, though, for sure. But 56 snaps for DK. And here's where things are going to start to get tricky because Lockett had another game that just it wasn't good. He had at least one drop. He had some other plays where it looked like he wasn't ready for the ball. He's slipping. And I think that a big part of the problem is we don't really know how to use him in the right way anymore, or at least we're not at the moment. But I also think a big part of the problem is that he is starting to lose it just a little bit, and we're getting to a point now where JSN, especially after that play he made at the end of that game, where by the way he was lined up as an outside receiver for that play, we need to start kind of trying to pull the keys away from Lockett a little bit more and give them to JSN, I think. It's probably going to happen more so next season, but we're already getting there. So it's pretty close to even right now. Like the last 2 games, it's been almost exactly even with Lockett getting a tiny advantage. But I just don't think Lockett is going to be consistent enough to be more efficient than JSN on JSN's targets. Lockett's having some really inefficient games lately. Derek Young had one snap, so he basically just gets in there randomly throughout the game once or twice at this point, which, I mean, that beats him being injured. And Jake Bobo, 14 snaps. Nice little contribution for him. I know some people are definitely waiting for him to start getting more snaps, but he's a rookie. We've got some good things going with our top receivers. Maybe he starts to intrude a little bit on Lockett snaps, but I don't know if this team is willing to do that. There is maybe a little bit of a rookie wall thing going here where we don't want to have Bobo play too much in his rookie year. I don't know. There's probably a lot of different factors going into it. So Bobo, 14 snaps, which for a lot of people they're going to say that's not enough, but I don't mind it. At the end of the day, he is more than anything else an excellent run blocker. So even in a game where he only has one catch, like last night, he's contributing. That's it for receivers. Tight end, Noah Fant, who had a pretty rough game, 38 out of 61. So most of the game did not have a chance to do much. Will Dissly false starts on the first play of the game and then doesn't really do that much the rest of the game. 24 snaps. I think he had like 2 catches for 9 yards. Again, I'm just wondering if maybe there's some kind of injury that we don't know about with Dissly. Maybe he's just a little bit banged up in a way that isn't showing up on the injury report, but it is enough to keep him out. Colby Parkinson, 21 snaps, so he actually comes in even less. Which, look, I mean, the way we played that game was not bad offensively, given the fact that we had all those injuries. But when you have Drew Lock in there, you would think you'd want to use your tight ends more. So for Parkinson to play like a third of the game is questionable. And Brady Russell got 1 snap. Offensive line, the highlight here is that there was no rotation, there was no subbing in and out. Everybody played and played the whole game. Now, most of them did not play well. Damian Lewis played not very good. Evan Brown played bad. Anthony Bradford played really bad, like almost almost unplayably bad. Like, say what you will, and I do like Bradford for the future. I think Bradford's going to be a good right guard in this league at some point. But I think we're now at the point where I'm looking at Bradford and thinking, I think Phil Haynes is better than him. Like, measurably. I do actually think Phil Haynes is better. So, if Phil Haynes comes back and takes his starting job back when the injury's passed, I'm not going to be upset about it. However, the upshot here is that, first of all, I thought both tackles played fairly well, Cross and Lucas. I thought both did their job. And the fact that we have some synergy on this offensive line now, where we basically had the starters play every snap for 3 weeks in a row, and we've been able to build some continuity on the offensive line, that's actually been really nice. So I think that's going to be crucial as we go towards the end of this season. It's a big reason why this team is underachieved on offense. Like, I don't know what's going on defense, really. The defense being bad, this bad is not okay on any level, but offensively, I can at least say, yeah, the offensive line having no synergy whatsoever has been a killer. All right, so that's the offense. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball here. 69 snaps. So we did get out snapped, and we're now about 100 snaps. We have about a 100 snap deficit. So it's still not good, but 61 to 69 is at least somewhat close. It's not a death toll. It's not like, a death deficit. And the fact that we were able to win that game speaks to that. So let's start with the defensive line, or kind of. I mean, Draymond Jones, you guys know that we're using him differently now. 55 snaps. Jaron Reed, 54 snaps. Leonard Williams, 51 snaps. Again, those 3 guys get most of it. We did have a little bit of a rotation with Mario Edwards. 24 snaps is decent. It's okay. But again, we just have the guys that we trust, and they get to play almost the whole game. Cameron Young had 12 snaps. That's workable, I suppose. He is a rookie. You don't want to overwork him, but I do wonder if we could bump that up a little bit and not lose that much. Maybe even gain something. Like Jaron Reed playing 54 snaps and Leonard Williams playing 51 snaps at their respective ages. I know they're good. I know Leonard Williams is a monster. I know Jaron Reed's been really good for us. I don't know if playing them that many snaps is a good idea. I wish we had a real rotation up front, man. All right, linebacker Bobby Wagner, 69 snaps, plays every snap. He's out of gas. I don't know what else to say at this point. Bobby Wagner is just out of gas. I don't think it's his fault. I don't think it's an indictment on him as a player, but I do think that he's become a kind of a detriment to this team at this point. Too many things that he just can't do anymore. Like even maybe it was the first play of the game. Jalen Hurts scrambles out of the pocket, and Bobby Wagner just looks so slow trying to chase him down. And I'm not saying he played a terrible game, but I don't think he played a good game. So he gets 69 snaps. Jordan Brooks gets 63 snaps, so he plays almost the whole game. I thought Brooks actually played pretty good. So, what you would basically expect from this team right now, they're playing their 2 inside linebackers on almost every single play. Edge rusher, we got Boye Mafe leading the way by far with 55, and this is where the team just doesn't really have an answer. The other edges on this team barely play. Like Darrell Taylor had 14 snaps. Derek Hall had 10 snaps. And Frank Clark had 7 snaps. So basically we're leaning on Mafe and Draymond to be our edges. And everybody else, it's like, it makes me think of the 2002 Lakers, which had Shaq, Kobe, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Robert Horry. And then everybody else on that team was just garbage. They were unplayable almost. Like, they would just play those 5 guys as much as possible. And the other guys, you were terrified to put them in any big moment. And you just had to hope those guys would survive playing big minutes. And that's where we are with some of these defensive situations right now. We have no real rotation at edge. Taylor has basically had his minutes cut to nothing. Hall, 10 snaps in a game like this. I know he made a big play on special teams, but still a really rough indictment on him. And Clark, 7 snaps is not really that different from 0 snaps. And if you're only going to play him 7 snaps in a game, you should probably just not have him on the team. And I wish we had Tyreek Smith back, because at least Tyreek Smith had upside. So, a little bit of a mess here for sure. Cornerback. Mike Jackson played 50 snaps, and Woolen took the other 19. And Jackson played excellent, so I think the team was right to play things the way they did. Woolen did not play very well when he did play. There's clearly something not right there, and it's not going to get fixed this season probably. So this offseason is going to be a big crossroads for Woolen, whether or not he's going to get back here. Some of it's injury related, but some of it is also player related. Trey Brown locked it down for the other 69 snaps, played decently to my eye, no complaints. We had Kobe Bryant play 6 snaps, and Artie Burns played 63, which, I mean, with how little he's played most of this for the last basically almost 3 months, that was a big ask, and he, I thought, played fine. Not amazing, but given the fact that we had very little pass rush, these cornerbacks had a tough job, and they did pretty well. So those are your cornerback splits. Finally, safety, really easy. Quandre Diggs plays every snap. Julian Love plays every snap. And yeah, that's all we got for Snap Count Monday on a Tuesday. Let me know what you guys think. This defense is really, really down to the nub, it feels like. But there is some stuff to be happy about for sure, especially with the offensive line. See you guys later. Might make another video later today. If not, I'll probably stream on Twitch tonight. I'll do like a little birthday stream perhaps. Go Hawks. See y'all later. Catch ya.